Hello, hello, and welcome back to another week of mini trainings, which are called Vibe High Fridays with Irina, where we take every concept and talk more about manifestation and how we can connect that magic to our daily life to experience the greatest results. And if this is the first time you are tuning in, my name is Irina Portnova, and I am all about manifestation, working with the energy, and how we can consciously create our results in life. And if this is something that sparks something in yourself, that this is the topic that really dear to your heart, I welcome you to this beautiful space. And I just wanted to say that each time you are tuning in to this kind of information, you are expanding your consciousness. What does it mean? You are moving and growing on the level of awareness, and you become more connected to who you are beyond your just body, beyond your identity, and how to connect to yourself deeper so you can create different results in your life and you can live with a lot of fulfillment. And today, our conversation is going to be around the topic of invisible force, magnetic force. So, what is it? Well, the truth is that the most powerful forces shaping our reality have never been visible. They are not your schedule, they are not your title, they are not even your effort. They are subtle yet undeniable that these energies are actually the ones that move beneath the surface. This is your vibration, this is your emotional signature, and the thoughts that you repeat when no one is watching. Your intuition is also very important, and the universal laws respond to every frequency that you emit. These forces are not the fantasy, these are the foundational. They shape the way opportunities appear in your life, how people respond to you, and what you actually attract or repel in your life without saying a word. And once you learn how to work with them intentionally, life starts shifting. Not because you are working harder, but because you are working with the current, not against it. And today we want to cover a little bit about how do we understand and trust the signals from the invisible realms. Before anything manifests in the physical, it first steers in the unseen. Everything first, whatever we wish to bring into our physical reality, starts in the energetic field. The invisible realms are always speaking to you through a gut feeling, through a sudden shift in energy, a moment of synchronicity, or that inner knowing that makes no logical sense. Yet, it feels right. These signals are your internal compass, guiding you toward what's aligned and away from what is not. And I just wanted to share my personal experience because I want you to connect to something that you are experiencing every day, but you might not doing it consciously. I remember when I had my daughter. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I was having very bad, they call it morning sickness, but it wasn't just morning, it was any time of the day. And I was literally nauseous all the time, throwing up, and I couldn't stand to be at work because even driving to work was very risky for me because I could literally throw up during that ride. So, what I decided to do with my ex husband, and I'm very grateful to him for that, we decided that I'm going to take a break from work and I'm going to stay home. So the first trimester was very sicky, right? And then I was feeling a little bit better, and I had a very good pregnancy, no complications. When I delivered my daughter, I was still taking care of her, waiting for my mom to retire so she can pick up where I left. And I'm very grateful to my mom because she is the blessing. She actually raised both of my children. So 9 months once I delivered, I was staying with my daughter. I was taking care of her. And when that period passed and my mom got retired so she can actually took over the job, I started to go back into the workforce. As you might know, if you're following me, if you watched prior episodes, I was working in the accounting field. So when I went with my resume to one of these accounting firms that help you to staff the employees for the employers, one of these staffing agency, the lady, she was interviewing me and she said, she asked me how much would I want as a salary, and I told her that I want more than my last salary that I left. And she looked at me and she said, well, you had the gap in your work and you would be lucky to receive something that matches your last salary. And you know what? If I bought what she was saying, I would never be able to climb the ladder in the corporate world because I would always listen to everybody's opinion to define who I am. But there was that inner knowing that it's impossible that I cannot have the salary that I desire. I went home. I was pretty confident that with the time something shows up. And we know that when we set our mind on something, we know that good things take time. And once you understand that, once you are willing to be patient, everything always work out. And that's exactly what happened. So it took me a little bit longer to continue searching for that job, but I ended up having not one, but two offers with the exact salary that I desire. So why am I sharing this story with you? I'm sharing you with this story with you just for you to pay attention and go back in your past. When was the time in your life when people were telling you that it's impossible, but there was that inner knowing inside of you? There was that gut feeling. There was something telling you that I know I can have it. And you did it and you succeeded at that. That's exactly what we call the unforeseen forces. That's exactly what we say our intuition, our inner knowing. But most people second guess this. Why? Because we've been taught to trust logic over our intuition, effort over alignment, and visibility over our vibration. But manifestation begins the moment when you decide to listen to what's not been said and feel what just beneath the surface. So let's talk a little bit about these signals that actually look and feel like. These signals often arrive as a quiet knowing before your mind can explain it. That can show up like a whisper that says, this is right, or pause here. It might feel like a calm pull in your chest, a sudden rush of excitement without the reason, or a chill across your skin. Or sometimes it could be even as a heaviness when something is off. These signals are very subtle, not loud. Still, you can recognize them. And the best way to start recognizing them is to slow down, because the more you slow down, the more you start listening to your body and understanding the cues that the body is giving you, the more you become aware and the more you start trusting yourself. Because a lot of times we have to make the decision in life, and our decisions are made based on our past, based on our education, based on our bank account, based on our age. But what if I say that everything is irrelevant? What matters is to connect with your heart, to connect with that inner knowing, and know that your guidance is always there. Your inner GPS is always guiding you. The more you learn how to trust yourself, the more you start seeing the opportunities that you haven't seen before. And I know sometimes it can be challenging because if you've never done this kind of work, it seems a little bit unrealistic. It seems like, wait, I don't even know where to start. That's why I invite you to look at my resources. I have the resources for you right on this page as you're watching. You can claim the free resources. You can start opening up your consciousness for more things to explore. Because remember, if we don't know it, we just don't know it. It doesn't mean it's not existing. It's the lack of our awareness. But it does not mean that there is a lack of the resources. So my invitation for today is really start paying attention to these invisible forces and connect everything together. What is your story that you're constantly saying to yourself in your head? What kind of emotions you are experiencing over and over again? Something that you would want to change in your life, right? Are you the procrastinator? Are you the person that always comes up with the excuses why things are not going to work or why you cannot do this? I invite you to stop putting these excuses and ask yourself an important question. This is one of the tools that I'm giving you today. Ask yourself the important question: what step can I take today to change my situation, to change my thought, to change my expression in this world? The more you're going to sit with this question, you'll see that you start seeing the solution. Because again, with this work, what I'm teaching my clients is not to sit in your conditions, because the circumstances are always going to be there. There is always going to be the people who are craving your attention, the people who want something out of you. You have your kids to raise, you have your partner to attend, you have the job to do. These are the things are not going away from you. But what is the most important thing is to pause and ask yourself, how long am I going to give up and give in to the circumstances? How important it is to change something in my life so I can experience the true aliveness, so I can connect with something what's important to me. Maybe this is your hobby that you want to do and you just don't have the time for it, right? When do I stop giving my attention, my energy away for everything else but myself? The more you're going to sit with this question, the more you're going to start seeing the solution. I promise you. And again, just claim these free resources, because this is something that is going to open up your possibilities in life. You start thinking differently. And once you start thinking differently, you start feeling differently. You start acting differently, and you start attracting a different reality to yourself. So, this is something I wanted to leave you with. Again, the invisible forces are always with us. And what we are doing with this work, we are learning how to tap to them, and we are learning how to partner with them. So it's not just the logic mind that drives the our reality, right? We want to connect to our creativity factor. And from that, that's where the magic happens. Lots of love. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend if you are watching me on Friday. If not, just tune in, start asking yourself questions, start learning about yourself, because life is more than what we see, hear, smell, and touch. Life is so much more than just the five senses that we experience. And once we connect to these invisible forces, that's where the true miracle happens. Love you all and see you on the next episode. Bye.